All right, so I'm starting to put together my amended soil for the first raised bed. We have gotten it to the level that I want for just, like regular dirt, no special things added to it, so that the next, oh, I'm going to estimate, let's see, 3, 6, about 9 inches will be the amended soil. So we're going to be using this garden soil as one of the components. I have some vermiculite that I got for seed starting. I think I'm going to put some in there as well. We also have some steer manure blend that we purchased last year and didn't use because we knew we had this project coming up. Um, I don't know. I did find another bag, or not another, but a bag of perlite as well. I don't know if it makes sense to put any of that in, but I think I'll just add it. Not a lot, just a little bit, to each of the loads. But essentially, the other issue is I want to get some actual raised bed soil because this is garden soil. And then, of course, I'm going to take some of the dirt that we have from our old raised bed and help use that as a base as well. So, hopefully, with all of that stuff mixed in, I am going to find, I'm pretty sure we have some of the fertilizer that's in like little nugget forms or little balls, and I'll shake some of that stuff in there too. Uh, I plan on when I do the actual planting of whether it's starts or seeds, I'll probably do an individual and very specific additions of bone meal, blood meal if I decide to buy any of that. Things that are going to be very targeted to the areas where I'm putting the actual plants rather than necessarily spreading it out throughout the entire soil chunk, whatever. I'm not sure what the best way to categorize that as, but those are going to be very targeted, and so I will not be spreading it within the general soil thing. Oh, I will be using some of the worm castings as well that I purchased to add into this. Now, what I've found is it takes about 1 to 1.5 wheelbarrow fulls of soil from the raised beds, the old raised beds, to fill a level um, in the new beds. So if I go with 1.5, then we're going to need 6 of these wheelbarrow-fulls, and the wheelbarrow barrel is right over there. Barrow, and you can see here's our um, 2 blueberry bushes that we need to get put into the ground, and we haven't prepped the area just yet because I don't know if you can really tell from here, but it has just been sopping wet for quite some time, which has kind of inhibited our progress, but even more so, we've definitely been doing some more work with the bins, and that's really where our focus has been because I absolutely want to get at least this first bin right here um, fully filled, and I want it to be all the way to the top so that there's no shadowing from the lip or anything like that. Everything gets 100% of the sun that it should. And of course, that just means there's a little less bending over needed too on my part, which my back will be very appreciative of. But anyway, I'm going to get started on putting the various components together, everything except for the raised bed dirt because it is so wet and muddy. I'm going to wait and make that the last thing that I add into the the wheelbarrow. Also, we do not have the raised bed stuff, the raised bed soil. The local Home Depot just doesn't seem to have any in stock whenever we go in there. So we'll have to figure stuff out from that. Once that's kind of together, and I'll show some of the components as I'm putting them into the wheelbarrow. I'll probably also put a little bit of an update about where our seeds are towards the end of this. So, anyway, off we go.
Okay, so this is probably going to be the last video that we do on the filling of the raised beds for a little bit. We need to get the bagged raised bed soil from the store, and we're going to need a number of those, as well as um, a little bit more of the dirt from our original raised beds to kind of complete the mix. And then, like I said, that's going to take about 6 of those separate loads to do the last bit if I've calculated correctly. So once we do have this bin 100% filled, then maybe we'll do another video showing what that looks like. In the meantime, I am going to have a short little clip showing where we are at with our seeds starting. And yeah, so I will leave the rest of this video and then that'll be tacked on to the end. So I hope you enjoy, and if you have any suggestions on other amendments that we should be including, absolutely put a note down in the comments. Very much welcome to get that bit of knowledge. So enjoy and thank you.
Well, well, well. Okay, so I'm probably more excited than I really should be, especially considering where we are in the process. But I am tickled to death, just so excited because as you can see, we do have some germination on our seeds, and I'll be honest, I was a little concerned that we wouldn't even make it to this point with the disaster of fall planting that we had. It was one of those, oh, I'm sure we'll do it, but in the back of your mind, you're just like, well, it could still go wrong. So I'm very glad to see that we have made it to this step. And the nice news is, of the 16 varieties that we have planted, 10 of them so far are germinating or showing that they've germinated. That does leave 6 that I haven't seen any movement on, but um, I'm not quite as concerned because I realized that I did not pay attention to the germination rates or the dates that they suggest on the seed packets. So I do have a lot of them that are in the 7 to 14 day, but there are a few that are more 7 to 21. I think one said something like 28 days, 28 to 30 days. So that puts me in a little bit of a dilemma because I'll tell you, I did give in and I got a heat mat. Um, I have ever since I planted these, and I think we did that on the 7th. And by we, I do mean me, Scott, and I. Um, we did that on the 7th, so it hasn't even been a week yet. But every day, it would be an hour and I'd walk by, and it'd be a half hour and I'd walk by, and every single time I'm looking to see if there's been any change. I know that's ridiculous, but that's just how excited I've been about this whole process. And I mean, this is probably gonna kind of show my age, but I felt like it was in that old Mervin's commercial, just putting my nose up to the dome, saying "open, open, open, open." But yeah, so that's. I do feel a little ridiculous about it, but you know what can I say? You got to take your joys where you can. But as I was saying, because I was so concerned about whether we would see any movement, I did get a heat mat. I found it on sale on Amazon. I think it came in a set of two and it was $22 or something like that. So I felt that was a pretty decent price for what I wanted. I mean, I'm no expert. It seemed okay and pretty reasonable. And so I've been using that for about 2 days now. There is a little bit of a concern because of the whole germination range of dates that I'm dealing with, that I don't want to put some of the seeds that don't need a heat mat in jeopardy, because I am utilizing one for things that typically do better if you use one, so like the peppers and the tomatoes. So that's a balance that I'm going to have to kind of figure out. In some of the research I found, it did say once you have a few seedlings coming up, you should vent your dome, and you can see here that I have vented it. But I don't know how soon I should abandon the heat mat. I'm gonna say if maybe a few more, or if they get just a little bit bigger. I'm not sure yet. I need to look up a few more people and kind of gather some of that information and see if there's a consensus on timing for that. I just don't want to ruin the forward progress that I'm seeing, um, in the efforts of catering to some of the seeds, and then causing a problem for other ones. But yes, I'm very excited about where we're at. Um, I'm hopeful that these will grow to be, strong and good candidates for transplanting into the garden, and not getting all leggy and yucky like the ones in the fall were. I will be very, very disappointed if we run into that problem. But I wanted to share this, really, really, really small milestone, just because I've been so excited. So, yeah, I'm. If you guys have any suggestions, tips, ideas on, how to continue this successful, start, please put those in the comments. I'm happy to learn and take advantage of the knowledge that's out there. So I hope you have a fantastic evening, and thank you for continuing to follow along, or if you're new, welcome. Yeah, and I hope you continue to see how we do here at the Black Petal Gardening channel. All right, until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.